starting with third place.
Well, I picked Barry Brennan's goal in third. The reason for that was, I remember it started off from the full back and there was 5 passes in the build-up to the goal, and I think it was Stephen Joyce got the ball and he passed it to Barry Brennan, and Barry Brennan was in a very, very difficult position to shoot from, and as I can recall, he'd already had 2 shots for goal, and the fact that he had the confidence to go for a third, like, meant that, that he was for me, like, I'd never seen him play before, but I think for someone to have that confidence means he's a fairly good player. And I thought the way he turned and took the chance, and he certainly finished it and hit the roof of the net and it was in the back. And that type of goal really gets the rest of the team going, and they were 5 points behind as well. And they needed a goal to stay in the game. And I think that was a very, very good goal, especially for the team.
OK, that's Barry Brennan of Galway then. What about second place?
Well, I picked Dublin, of course, Kieran Duff. I thought that was a fantastic goal. It was a pity that Joe got blocked, Joe McNally, in the beginning, but I think he was going to kick it to the full forward. He was leading out on his own, but he recovered and then had another look. He didn't panic. He looked again and saw Kieran Duff in behind the corner, and the half forward, half back guy, and he sort of put it across, and it was a beautiful pass right into his hands. Then he turned on his left foot and in the far corner. Fantastic goal.
And then the goal of the year?
I picked Mike Sheehy, because I thought it wasn't so much the shot, but it was the build-up, because it was the end of the game, they were losing, they had to get a goal, and he knew it himself, and they were caught out in the corner, they had 2 or 3 passes, and he took it on his own, he took on 3 or 4 of the defenders, and he knew himself he had to get a goal. Now, anyone else, I don't think they would have been able to score, but he just kept at it and saw the opening between the keeper's legs, and it was in. Fantastic goal.
And to recap on Jim's goal selection again, in third place, goal H scored by Barry Brennan of Galway. In second place, goal A scored by Kieran Duff of Dublin. And the goal of the year, goal D, scored by Mikey Sheehy of Kerry. Well, 2 All-Ireland tickets go to the first correct entry out of the bag, and that came from Mr. B. Ennis from Ballymahan, Ashburn, County Meath. Well, now let's hear Jim's selection from the saves of the year.
In third place, I picked John O'Leary. I thought it was a very, very good reflex save, because I think it was the centre-half forward was standing around the goal square. It was a big high kick, and John O'Leary was standing in the middle of the goal trying to cover all angles, and the ball was it was a punch from the centre-half forward, and really he had no time, it was straight at him. Now his reflexes just caught him, and hands were up and he just knocked it over the bar. Very, very good save, I thought.
And second place?
I picked John Cairns for second place. I thought he came out very well. One of the forwards were in, and it was an open goal. He got in behind the defence, and he took the shot, and the keeper covered the angle, but he went one way, and the ball went the other way, and he got his arm out just in time to put it wide. I thought it was a very, very good save. Very, very quick reflexes again.
And then the save of the year?
I picked Pat Comer. It was very, very good, because I'd say any other keeper, I don't think they would have saved it, because he came out, he looked at the guy just as he was going to kick it, and he could see where the ball was going to be kicked. So he took the dive, he saved it with his hands. But the fact, it wasn't just the first save. I think the second save was better, because he got up off his feet when he had blocked it, and he raced across, and the guy had another chance of scoring a goal, and it should have been in the net the second time. And he took it again, and he had a look, took the dive and saved the second time, and then it was cleared. I thought that was very, very good.
So, Jim's football saves choice again in reverse order. In third place, save A by John O'Leary of Dublin. In second place, save B by John Cairns of Cork. And the winning save C by Pat Comer of Galway. And appropriately enough, I suppose, it was a Galway person that came out of the bag first here, and that was Agnes Coakley from Mount Bellew, County Galway. 2 All-Ireland football final tickets on their way to you as well, Agnes. Well, let's turn to hurling next, and to make the selection here, we asked the former Cork great Jimmy Barry Murphy. He begins with his third place choice of goal of the year.
Well, in third place, I had goal B, scored by Nicky English for Tipperary against Cork in the replayed Munster final in Killarney. And this was a ball that was played in, I think, by Aidan Ryan. He kicked it actually on. Nicky English had the foresight to stay inside at a stage when Tipperary needed a goal very badly. Bobby Ryan left it run through his legs, and Nicky English gathered it on his hurley. And as he was about to strike it, he was challenged by Jim Cashman. And if Nicky had caught it in his hand, he would have been blocked, I'm almost certain of that. And without catching it in his hand, he struck it off the hurley with his right hand into the far corner of the net. And I thought it was a great opportunism and a good strike by Nicky English.
OK, that was Nicky English then. What about number 2? In
second place, I put goal F by Pat Fox for Tipperary in the All-Ireland semi-final against Galway. This is a different kind of goal in that Pat had to work very hard for it. He came out the field, about 35, 40 yards out from the goal on the right-hand side. Gathered the ball in his hand, raced inside Jerry McInerney. Sylvie Lennon came across to tackle him strongly, but he managed to evade him, and he raced in, and under strong pursuit from the defenders, he shortened his swing and struck it beautifully into the roof of the net, which again showed great timing. And if he had taken a big wild swing, which lots of players do, he would have been blocked for certain. But he struck it beautifully, and an exceptionally good goal. And the winning goal, I think, I was lucky in a sense in that I had an easy task this year. The winning goal was goal C, scored by John Fenton for Cork against Limerick in the Munster Championship. This was an outstanding goal. A puck out from Ger Cunningham, touched on by Jim Cashman, Tomas Mulcahy and Leonard Emmet raced for it. The ball broke into an open space, and John, instead of striking it first time, he pushed it into an open space for himself, creating even more room than he had already. And he lined himself up and made a beautiful stroke, and without anybody realising the ball was in the back of the net. And it was a totally instinctive stroke on John's part, and it was a flash of brilliance, and you wouldn't see as good a goal in a long, long time.
And to remind you once again of Jimmy's top 3 hurling goals for 1987. In third place, goal B by Nicholas English of Tipperary. In second place, goal F by Pat Fox of Tipperary. And the winning goal, goal C by John Fenton of Cork. Well, as Jimmy said, there wasn't too much doubt about the winner this year. And the person who got the right combination of Nicholas English and Pat Fox behind John Fenton was Michael O'Studdard of Drummaleahy, Cree, County Clare. And those All-Ireland tickets will be on their way to you later in the year, Michael. Well, while we congratulate John Fenton for winning Goal of the Year, we must also bid John farewell, because he announced yesterday that he's retiring from the inter-county hurling scene. However, he will continue to hurl for his club Middleton, and we'll be next seeing him against Athenry in the All-Ireland Club Final on St Patrick's Day. Now finally, we go to Jimmy Barry Murphy's choice of Save of the Year in hurling.
In third place, I placed Pat Curran of Waterford, save from Pat McCarthy in the Munster Championship against Limerick. Ball broke to Pat McCarthy on the left-hand side of the goal. He struck it from a fairly narrow angle, but Pat Curran covered his post beautifully and deflected it away. It was a magnificent save from short range.
And in second place?
In second place, I had goal A, saved by Ken Hogan from Kieran Kingston in the Munster Championship, again in Thurles. It was a long ball to the square. Tomas Mulcahy hit it in, actually. It broke to Kieran, and he let fly on the ground. A first-time shot, which is most difficult for any goalkeeper to save. But in a magnificent reflex save, Ken Hogan dived to his right and managed to deflect it outside for a 65. It was a typical goalkeeper, instinctive, brilliant save.
And the winning save then?
And the winning save, I had save F, again by Pat Curran for Waterford against Limerick. Pat McCarthy took a beautiful pass from Paddy Kelly in his stride, and without any defender near him, he struck it. A defender actually threw his hurley trying to put him off. He struck the ball beautifully at full strength, and Pat Curran managed to cover it, diving to his right and put it outside for 65. And the great thing about the save for me, at least, was that he managed to put the ball away, that he didn't deflect it back to the oncoming forwards. It was a powerful shot, hit by a very good player, and the goalkeeper made a magnificent stop.
And so then, the top 3 hurling saves of the year, as chosen by Jimmy Barry Murphy, were: in third place, save G by Pat Curran of Waterford. In second place, save A by Ken Hogan of Tipperary. And the winning save, save F, also Pat Curran of Waterford, who clearly had an outstanding game in that Munster Championship tie against Limerick. And our winner out of the bag here, who will also be receiving All-Ireland hurling final tickets, was Dennis Lonergan of Priorstown, Kilsheelan, Clonmel, County Tipperary. I'm sure he'll be hoping to use those tickets to go and see Tip in this year's All-Ireland final. Our thanks indeed to everybody who took part in the quiz, and if you weren't a winner this time, then better luck next time. Now, before I go, a mention of one or two other matters in Gaelic games next Thursday.